All right, it's January the 24th. I'm heading to Bruce's house, filming, I guess, some more scenes for Bruce. I don't know how far along we are, but here we go. Let's get at it. A quick pit stop. Gecko. I don't know what's down in Tennessee, but geckos are here.
Right here's your answer. Rod is the answer.
Oh, man. What's up, brother?
I hate it.
I am as well.
You got your phone and everything.
Huh?
You got your phone on a good content creative.
What's up? Dude, what's up?
Thanks for making it out today.
Yeah, bro. This is part of the Bruce episode. I hope you've been filming.
You know what? I did start filming. I did.
Thank God. Somebody's doing stuff.
It's weird making a video about yourself.
No, it's not.
Hello, I am Bruce, and this until now is where I have dwelled. And now there's a few boxes. Things have been getting ready to move. This is the remnants of the studio. It's been packed up, and
Wow.
things are kind of in shambles right now.
Wow,
Down
that's
here.
good.
This has been the epicenter of a lot of creative things
It's like,
that have happened.
yeah, man, like the energy. The
Yeah.
energy of the music. The NPC.
That was a friend of mine named Eric Emerson
That's
showed me
right.
that item.
That's right, man.
And this is actually his amp
Oh, that's right. Oh, you know what?
that and this cabinet over there on the bottom, that amp peg. Got to record a few bands. Eric let me borrow that. Thank you, sir. And yeah, man, they're here. Here's a 1967 Fender head. There's a guy named Dick Dale who wrote a song called Miss Your Lou. It was in the movie Pulp Fiction. And basically Dick Dale, he had The Showman. He went out on tour that year and he was blowing up these amps left and right. And there's only one speaker for The Showman. So they actually, Fender built this amp for Dick Dale in 1967. He blew up between 30 and 50 of them at his home before they finally designed this one that he could not explode with his guitar tone. And this is the dual Showman that he went on. He then went on tour with this model. The next year he used more than one speaker, so it's pretty exciting. So this is one of my favorite things to use to make music.
That's awesome, bro. So today, it's January the 24th, 2025, and I'm at Bruce Harrington's home. Bruce, thank you for allowing me to come over and hang out with you tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. This is really great. Thanks for giving me a chance to tell my story.
Absolutely. And we're telling the stories. I know I'm going to go too technical really quick, but DJI 2, you were the one that told us about these microphones that we're talking on.
Yeah, the DJI 2 is actually a really interesting mic that, you know, it never clips, and because you can put it in 32-bit floating mode and has a magnet on the back, and it's really great. And again, thanks for your trust that you would go with the lead, because these weren't cheap microphones. In fact, I think they're nearly the top of the line as far as price and quality. So there's only one other mic that does 32-bit floating, I think, maybe, but if not, no other. So, you know, it's just really cool to work with someone who goes with your intuition, and like you give them an idea and then you've been there to support it. So thanks for that.
Yeah. And the really cool part too is, as I was coming out here, it was really quick to grab the little case. It's very portable, very convenient. And then this and an iPhone 15, and here we are. We're having an interview.
Right.
Just like that. Now he happens to have a nice light, which is helping us to be well lit in the situation. But we have an impromptu interview going here just for fun, so which is great.
Right. And the case charges as well. I know we don't work for DJI, but it works for us. So.
Yeah, it's been a really awesome upgrade to everything. So here we are in your home, Bruce. How long have you been in this house?
You know, we moved here in November of 2014, and it's our first home. And then we found out, we were like, what are we going to do with this middle room? We found out 4 days after signing the papers that we were going to also be parents. We found out we were going to have a baby. So it was like a whirlwind. It's been, it's just kind of like 10 years. And
Wow. 10 years.
Having the studio in different rooms of the house that like, what used to be the studio was in another location. I had a studio in New Brighton. We had this building. You can see the wood there. It's amazing. Like, it's right on the river, and there's actually bars on the basement doors, and it was a little place where you could have the carriage drop stuff off. It's this old house. No one had even been in there in a year, and we went in there first people to be in the building, and it was a very, very interesting place. When you left, you felt like whatever energy was there didn't want you to leave. Oh. And it was kind of a scary thing. And then there were some tenants who moved in, and I'd ask them, I said, hey, you ever had a strange feeling? And they said, yeah. Well, when we go to leave, we feel like we shouldn't leave. And I said, that's really interesting. So we moved the studio from there to a place called the Red House in Beaver Falls. And, the Red House was a cool place. We had a cafe. We'd have like everyone from like doctors to like the homeless folks, like, or nearly maybe someone who's struggling, coming out and getting coffee and dessert, hearing music from someone who might have just recorded with me at the studio. We do like a CD release at the cafe, and really cool times. And then COVID hit, and we moved the studio here to my home.
Okay. So that's when the transition to bringing the studio into your home. And then you said you started out in multiple different rooms. Where did the studio start when you first brought it in-house post-COVID?
You know what? When we first got home, it was upstairs. There's this middle room, and you can actually, it was just a small place, but like I was trying to make videos, and I'm like, I can't get the camera far enough away from myself to really show anything. And I was able to make a short video on a backing track, how to make a backing track with blues. Blues track and with Logic. And then I was like, oh, I better go downstairs and, make a track of me soloing over it as an example. And it ended up being, something that like, people see and they're like, wow, that's really like, well, how, you wrote that solo. I'm like, yeah, I exactly had 5 minutes. I was like, I was sweaty. My hands were locking up because I had other stuff. I was working as another job doing delivery, and like my family, it was like my son's about to go to sleep. I was like, I literally only have one chance at this, and I hit record on a couple cameras, and whatever came out, and it ended up being pretty cool. And like you said, like you've taught me, version 1 is better than version none.
That's right. And someone else taught me that. It's not like it's just something I came up with, but yeah.
Eric Emerson, version 1 is better than version none.
Yeah, if you've never heard that, that came from some training a while ago, over 10 years ago. Some guy that was training, he goes, just a little word of encouragement. Version 1 is better than version none. And so it's always been like a good mantra to kind of have, especially when you're trying to do something, and you're trying to have a studio and try to have musicians that are, want to come and record and want to have someone that believes in them. You created a safe space for them, right within your home. So, tell us a little bit more about your why with the studio and, why you're in it and what you get out of helping people to bring their dreams with music to come to life.
Right on. Well, it ends up that, I started teaching guitar when I was in the 7th grade. A friend of mine came over and said, hey, I think he approached me on the bus or something. Said, hey, I want to learn this rock song. Can you come over to my house? I have $7.50 I can pay you. And so I rode my bike over there. And Matt Gilkinson, I taught him how to play a Pearl Jam song. That was the first lesson I ever taught. I mean, I'm not sure, but I knew it was...
That was one of those popular ones.
I knew there was C, G, E, and D involved.
Yeah.
But no, it was... And so then from there, it was like... I'm learning from everyone too. I'm even if someone only knows one song, that's a song I don't know, and they have something precious that I need to gather. And so I looked at each opportunity as a way to learn. And then maybe I talked to 100 people and I learned a song from each. Maybe all those people only knew a few songs, but now I know 100 songs. Mm. And I'm able to carry that and share that with people. And I enjoyed performance too, and playing music for people, kind of help them forget their problems for a little while. And when you revisit, problems are smaller, but
it's pretty taxing. And at the end of the night, you're far away from home and your ears are ringing. And so I got to the point where I wanted to help other people to be that, musician, that artist, to let them know that, hey, hit record on your phone because you might make a great song. Yeah. You have it within you that, and let's go through every, all the chords in this key. Let's go through the options. Let's empower you to write your own song, to feel like you know what you're doing, because at the end of the day, music picks up where words leave off, and people are able to express themselves in a way that is, deeper, that other people can understand. So really, why do I do it? Because it's been such a great tool for me to be freed of my negative experiences, and a lens for me to see life through, and a way to celebrate the positive experiences. And it's like you don't have to carry life around on your shoulders. When you write a song, you have it in that song and you put it on the shelf, and then when you want to revisit those feelings, you can play that song. But it's not something that's like you're so worn down that you're not able to be productive in life, because it kind of goes back, like when I was 18, I went home one day and my parents had changed the locks on the door. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm on my own. And so, I had studio setups growing up. It was all cables on the floor, and it was microphones, and it's been going on with 4-track recorders. I started recording in like 1994. That's when I started recording music. And so on tape, and then going on to recording to digital. And my wife and I had met at church, and actually before she came down the steps, we had never met, and she heard a small still voice that said, "You're about to meet your husband." And so she took one look at me dressed like a rapper at the time, and she was like, "I think that voice was wrong." And then, but we ended up, I fell in love the moment I saw her. Still remember everything she was, wearing, and her hat and everything. And that was like 2004, and we got married, and we've been together. And it's so she had a recording, like a digital interface. And so I was able to get that going, and I was like, oh, this is nice. We can record ourselves. And then I got to the point where I had taught so many students, and there was 3 bands of kids that I taught that I was fortunate enough to get a chance to teach. And I maybe taught both of the guitar players and maybe the keyboard player or something like that. And I was like, let's all record your bands, because when you hit college, you go their ways. Yeah. And so I was able to help them get those time capsules. A group of students, band, the band is called End of Thought. You can look them up. Let's Go to Mars is one of their songs, and it's a picture of their van, and they're going to Mars, but really they're talking about Mars, Pennsylvania. It's really funny. But they did it as their school project, and they got, as their senior project, and they spent 32 hours, and we recorded it. And so it was like, that's kind of how it started, with just helping students, and then artists who are ready to quit. I mean, countless times someone come to me, they're ready to quit. They've tried, they're ready to give up, and they haven't told me they're ready to quit, but those are the people who are sent my way. And I'm there to believe in their dream when they're not sure. And even students who come to me and even in struggle in the beginning, they're operating on my faith in them. I say, you can do this, right. And I give them that encouragement, and then they do it. And then they go, I can do this. And now that seed of faith now they believe, now they're playing on their own faith, and they don't need my faith in them anymore, but it's something that gets them started. And it's just like, I've been able to teach thousands of people in these last, 2 decades. I've been working at music stores, and, I love the music stores, and, local music stores, especially, if you can find a local music store to buy and take lessons from, please do. If not, then go to the larger chain store as a final result. But at the end of the day, you can't really record your students' performance in a lesson, because there's like flutes and and all these other sounds in the background. So it was really cool to be able to have a studio like this with the sound tiles, and where you can just dedicate the whole half hour to say, look, here are all these keyboards. Here's an amp that you might not find from 1967. Play whatever you want in this room. It's yours. In the time you're here, this is your stuff. And that's the way it is with the people who come to record. It's like, maybe they don't have the money to buy a $1,500 mic with a gold diaphragm. Well, guess what? Neither did I, but somehow I was able to eat enough ramen noodles where now you can record through it. You know what I mean? And so people are just like, they're loving it. And it didn't catch on at first, but now that I'm leaving town, I've got a lot of people who are like, Bruce, let's work together. And I've really kind of run out of time with them here, but I will be recording in Tennessee when we move there.
Yeah, and they can always make the trek down, and they could always send you tracks, and you can figure out ways to help. So if you're watching this video, you're catching it, and he's already left town, he's already down in Tennessee, don't forget that. Right. Send him an email. If you're seeing this on YouTube or whatever, we'll make sure his email's in the description. Sure. But reach out to him, because he wants to be there for you, is what his message is.
I really do. Yeah. And onelampstudios.com, which thank you, Eric, for even getting me started on that and helping explain how it works. Got a lot to do still on that. We still have, but I have the onelampstudios.com page, which we're going to be able to drop a file on and edit through there. But also there's onelampstudios.com, Bruce at onelampstudios.com. But thank you, Eric, even for just, to see the way you've executed with your business and how you work for clients. It's really inspired me to be a work first, and that's like, I'm real creative. So if I never stop coming up with ideas, I never start on my first idea I had. Yeah. So just like, it's been great working with you this past season, and we're going to continue to work.
We complement each other, and we accentuate each other's strengths. So once again, a little bit about Bruce and I and how we met. We're literally year and three or 4 months in regards to our relationship. We're both men of Christ and of faith, so we met at a Christian retreat, and we just it was an instantaneous connection and an explosion, and we did some fun stuff. We did a whole few months with this project called Future Us, which I just think we both got really busy in our lives right now, and it kind of got a little choked, and it's okay. At some point, I think when we get to better spots and more situated, both me within my business, him and with his new journey, and we're going to talk more about that here in a second. I think maybe we're going to have more opportunities to get a little more serious around coming together, like at a project-based type situation with Future Us. Like, that's what we got to probably do, is the way in which him and I have kind of partnered to get all of this social that you're seeing outputted all the time. We kind of have to look at it that way too, and if I'm making a trip to Tennessee, what's the equipment I need to bring down to do a live stream? What channels we're going to go to? Does our shout out to Carter, one of our old school interns, want to come along and stuff like that. We just got to get serious about it and make it a reality, and I think we'll be okay.
And my trips back up here, and even vlogging on the way of creating content during and on the way, because there's never enough content, there's never enough songs, there's never enough art, and if you think that you don't have something to contribute, you're probably mistaken out there. So I found that I've got a chance to be more creative in these last 15 months than I really did in the previous 15 years. I've been able to be, make videos and do things. So it's just been really fun. We've had such a season of creativity, but then we're accountability too. It's how's everything? How you living?
Yeah.
You gotta check
in with each other. I think there's a lot of truth to the nature of human beings being very isolating. So you kind of have to, you got to put those olive branches out in text and phone calls and stuff. And that's what this is tonight. This video literally was just a whim for me to come here tonight, and here we are doing it. But I was being called to come out here tonight. I don't know why. I was once again, man of faith, but I was feeling it in me that it's a Friday night. I just need something different. I need a friend. So it was
Right.
good. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right. I mean, and yeah, that's what's so amazing about human connection. And, you know, whenever I went to this men's event that my wife made me go to and at the time, and Eric had read the book and he was the first one to show up, and it was like two dudes in a field. He wasn't sure, like no one else had showed up. He has a really good story about that. Maybe you like and subscribe if you want to hear that story. But you know, we actually we met out there, and I was in a place with my back was injured. Got injured during delivery, and I actually was like, I couldn't very well walk that great, and especially if I was sitting for a long time, I was in a lot of pain. So that weekend, I was like trying not to lay down on the ground and just lay there, because that was where it felt like my back had the least amount of pain. And I was going through so much, like I had lost the ability to say the word hope. I couldn't say it because I didn't believe that at the time it was possible. Couldn't say the word. And in that weekend, you know, God restored my hope. You know, just He in my spirit. It was just amazing. And it wasn't like there was like this amazing speaker necessarily. It was just like the people getting together. And so it's just, yeah. So it's just like you said, it's good to reach out. It's good to be connected, especially as artists, because if we get isolated, we just stop creating, and we're surrounded by people who are consumers, and they don't understand us. And they don't understand why we need to do the things we need to do, like make music and art. So yeah, I encourage you to go to futureus.tv and go down to the bottom of the page, and you know, there's your ticket to the future. Sign up, put your email in. Only really Eric and I will see it, the email address. And actually, you can maybe be a part of that art movement if you need encouragement. You know, we're there for you.
Yeah, just on a side note, like even coming to the realization in this interview about I don't know where that came from, but like there's something too that I think all of us have felt isolated at times, or very like kind of lost, and nobody cares, or we don't know, you know, the future, or even feeling like ending it at times. And it just hit me again. Why did this Future Us thing ever even come on my heart? And I think there's something to this pulling each other out of isolations as artists, and you know, and as you know, people that go against the grain of the masses and the norms. A lot of times they're a little different, a little odd, trying stuff, experimenting, and they just find themselves in isolation. And what Future Us was all about was like him and I, we didn't know each other. We'd get together and just have instruments in front of us, and then we would just write things like Hater, and like weird compositions would just come out, and it was just that expressiveness, and it was like we were no longer isolated, and we were just expressing. So that just like, it's got to come back. Future Us will be back, don't you worry. It's still very much a little flame inside of my heart. I just got to get my life in order, like he's trying. You know, we're just trying to figure ourselves out like everybody else.
Yeah,
but we'll get back on that train.
definitely. And you can also go to the TikTok and Instagram of Future Us, as well as the In Your Hand Media page, to make sure you like and subscribe to those pages. And so.
I want to shift the subject though back to you know, the journey you're about to embark on. You're going down to Tennessee, and
Right.
It does relate to a lot of what we've talked about in this interview already, and about the studio, and about teaching and helping people with music, and you've always. I just want to say, you know, what I've witnessed from this man, and just in general, is like he does seem to have a natural trusting nature, and people just want to, you know, kind of work with him, and they just they feel safe with him, and you know, his heart's really pure, and he really wants to help with music and everything. So in that, why don't we talk a little bit about how did you get from we're moving to Tennessee? That's a good question
Right.
to ask. Tell the viewers at home a little bit about the story of how all of a sudden you decided to move from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, leave everything you've known, go to Tennessee.
Sure, great question. You know, the first two times I've gone to Tennessee, one when I was younger, I went to Dollywood, and I didn't think I wanted to go then. I was with my aunts and grandma and my dad, and it was a precious memories thinking back. But for a little kid, it's like you'd rather go to anywhere. But it didn't sound like a fun place. Then my wife and I, a friend was saying, "Hey, we're going down to Tennessee. There's this guy who made this song, and he's got lots of hits on YouTube, and we're going to Tennessee." And my wife is saying, "We're going." Doug's saying we're going to Tennessee, and I'm like, "Who's we?" And she's saying, "You and me." And so I'm like, I really hope that they just forget about this, because I've got a lot of work in the studio. We got 5 stars on Google, I want to keep it that way. And, I'm dedicated to what I'm doing to make a lot of videos. And so time comes by, and like, if he goes and shows me this video, and I'm like, wow, this really moves my heart. Like, this is a really amazing, like, expression of true feelings. I'm like, this it's recorded well. And I was like, this is really neat. I'm like, it's really cool. But I still didn't feel like I could even go on vacation or take time off. Can't afford it financially even. So the time came, and Doug basically stuffed us in his van. And thank God he did. And took us down there. And the guy we're supposed to meet, his name is Abel. And he's in this band called, well, not a band, but he's actually, come to find out, he was just playing music for kids who were basically orphaned. If their parents are in jail, if they can't pass the drug test, if they're deceased, they're staying at this place, and his job was to play music for the kids. Well, he became a pastor. Then he'd also going in volunteering to go play for the parents in the jail. And he goes there for free and plays for them. And that moved my heart, because my wife and I have done prison ministry. We've gone to Rockview State Penitentiary 4 times to play for the inmates there, and got just amazing reception. That people are so thankful to not be forgotten about, or to be remembered in a positive way. And so I was like, wow. And then to teach kids music, I thought they definitely probably have a music program there for these kids. And I came to find out that they didn't have a music program. And I thought, wow, I was able and fortunate enough to start a music program at a place called The Center in Midland. And it's right down the road from here, from Beaver, PA. And we started a small music program. We had 17 kids coming in on Thursday. Drums, guitar, bass, keyboard, songwriting. We were recording songs. Kids were writing about their feelings, their day. And I said, listen, if this isn't a song you could share with grandma, don't put those words in there, because I want them to have a big audience. I want them to be successful. I want them to feel heard. And so it's just really cool that we were able to do that. And I thought that was easy. People were passing out instruments left and right to me to give to the kids. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do, is gather up 120 instruments and just go down there and give them to the 120 kids at this place. And then mentor another teacher remotely to help instruct the kids. And so I talked to them. We went down a second time to show our son Tennessee. And we just couldn't get it out of our hearts and our minds about, these kids are there and they're away from their families. And they are a family within them. They have a really great program at this place. But it's just, there's something about music, and there's something healing about music and freeing. And I went to church one day, and the pastor was talking about, regrets. And he's like, if you don't do what's on your heart, those amazing things that you're dreaming, then you're going to have regrets later in life. And he's just talking to everyone, and he's speaking to me. And we ended up, we're like, okay, I'm going to send this guy, who's got millions of views on YouTube, and I'm going to send him a message on Facebook and just say, hey, God's put it on my heart to come record you for free, even though I'm not at the level of the producer who you're working with now, but maybe I can capture moments. And he's put it on my heart to come down and start and teach the kids at the children's home, just to help them out. And I want to put a recording studio in there for the kids too, so that they have their own recording studio and stuff, because we found out that someone had started a music program previously, but when they left town, or, it just falls apart. So I said, the kids need someone who is there for them, And so, but, what put on my heart, like, quit your job, your 5-star review on Google, reputation, and leave to a place where you don't really know anyone so that you can teach these kids music for free. So it sounds pretty wild, but my wife has the same pull on her heart. It's like, let's go down there, let's move down there. And then that second time we went down, I got to talk to 3 people after church. The third person, a guy named John, I said, I feel like the kids need a music program. And he's like rubbing his hands through his hair, his jaws dropped. I mean, I have never had someone react to what I'm saying more than this gentleman. And he's like, I've been trying to start a music and art school since 2008, and he makes like different kinds of glass art, and his wife teaches piano, and that they wanted someone who can maybe help do a few other instruments. And I have been on this journey teaching music and in a business on my own for so many years without a partner ever. And in that 1 minute of being across from him as he's leaving, and neither of us really have time to talk, everyone's leaving, I was like, okay, I'll go into business with this guy. Just that kind of instant feeling. And we started having phone conversations, and our families were talking over the phone, and we started talking about this school, and there's going to be a cafe in Greenville, Tennessee, and it's going to be a music and art center, and it's 6,000 square feet, and him and his wife are putting together the funds to get this building. And it's amazing because the owner only wants to sell it to him because he wants it to be great, and he doesn't want it to be another law office, to carry these parents off to jail while their kids are stuck at the home, and it's going to be a great place, and we're going to be able to serve the community and provide for our families and still go bring music to others who can't afford it. So we're going to teach music, yes, as a business. Yes, we'll have One Lamp Studios in that building in Greenville, Tennessee, next to the General Morgan there in historic Greenville. But we're also going to be able to go on location, bringing instruments, leaving instruments, installing a studio, and really giving people a chance to interact, because the music store doesn't teach music in Greenville, Tennessee. I heard recently that one of the teachers quit and left, and I don't think that left the town. I don't think there's almost anyone who teaches music. I've heard people, so even the privileged don't have the privilege, and it's like a Hallmark movie. The people in Greenville, Tennessee are amazing. They're on farmland, they're growing their own stuff, and so God's called us there. So we've sold our house. We have the pod out in the driveway, and you'll see some pod footage in this video. And we're just going to stuff whatever fits in there. And you know what? If it doesn't fit in there, I don't need it. And we're just going to...
Yeah.
We're going to live...
a story.
Yeah, man. We're just going to live, and we're going to shine the light. And because what you said earlier, like what brings you to teaching music? If I can help one person a day, it just, at the end of the day, I just feel amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's... You could call it a selfish thing, but really, like, if I'm down, even if I go and open a door for someone, if I smile, if I say a kind word, if I take time to thank someone for making a sandwich, whatever it is, it's like out of that gratefulness, that's where
you get your fuel.
That's where I operate, because, I'm just so grateful to get to be a musician, to get to share music, because it's such a personal thing. And I've had, like I said, thousands of students, and many, or if not all of them, still play music. I think there's only one student I talked to who said they stopped playing. Yeah. And I've been grateful, and I don't mind. I've worked with different folks, like whenever they get someone who has special needs or needs accommodations, they're like, let's send them to Bruce, because I'm there to care about the person first, care about their project, their music project, and care about the person. And of course, your project sounds good because I care about you. Of course, you're going to learn something today, because I'm not going to let you leave until you got it. You know what I mean? We're going to go over a few minutes on the lesson until we end on a solid thing. And so, yeah, it's just so great to share what we have. So if you're a teacher in this world, I encourage you to share what you have. Take that bushel off your lampstand and let your lamp shine. Because, if you have something to share, or if you're an artist or musician, because time is short on this planet. So I'm taking my one chip, I'm putting it all on, shine the light. And we're going to Greenville, Tennessee. And it's hard to leave because we love our friends and our church and all the things about this community. But we're hoping to also come back and visit pretty frequently. So
Yeah. Well, it seems like what I keep feeling is an alignment. Like it just seems like everything is aligning correctly, from your heart to your mind, to your actions, to
right
to where you're going. So now it's, to your point, like you got to take a chance. You can't live with regrets. That's why I even have my business too, and why, being about 10 years in and still feeling like at times, it's a major grind. And just having the willingness to keep pushing. And for me, I love what I do with marketing. I like to teach and help people to figure that stuff out. And so for me, I have a lot of passion around like, how do I help them to understand? And I think you have a very similar field to that. Is like, how do I help them to understand so that they feel empowered, that they can go and believe in themselves and not, go into a dark spot. So
right. And as you were speaking about alignment, like I just wanted to speak on this for 1 second. Like I talked to 3 people, and the third person was willing to buy a 6,000 square foot building. And this is just after a church service. The chances that someone would believe in your dream enough to invest like that, very small chance. Then we texted someone to see if they wanted to buy our house, and they wanted to, off of one text message. Then everything's gone well. Then we finally found a place, and it's been, I'm leaving a lot out, but it's been perfect after perfect. Like we're going to move, and it's been sub-zero temps. It's actually, the snow's going to melt enough before we move. Like I'm just saying that somehow every step of the way, we're going to be away for a week, and someone has offered to give us, to basically make us an employee at a hotel that we never have to work at, so that we can stay there for free, so that we can be there with our family and our pets, and an amazing place with like a pool. And I couldn't even afford to stay there. I couldn't, but we have it for a whole week while we move out and transition, and our things are being shipped down there. There's just the amount of detail and the care and the guidance. I want to say I've become less like a motorboat and more like a little sailboat. And whenever the wind's taking me of that, where I know that's the way it should go, just a little bit of guiding, and it's been amazing. It's just been so freeing. And I would just encourage anyone out there to listen to that small, still voice that tells you believe in those dreams when you were a kid, to make the world a better place. Those were real, and you're real, and that voice is real, that's speaking positivity over you. And that the negative voice you might hear is just that's really not the real guider. So
well, that's quite awesome, man. Once again, I'm going to be saddened that you're leaving Pittsburgh. However, as a good friend, I've come to complete and utter acceptance. So it's and I feel like, once again, it's just about, instead of trying to be the motorboat and trying to steer, you just got to let yourself and let those around you and let the guiding light and the guiding winds kind of steer us, and not go against that grain so much,
Right.
So,
right. When I said yes to what I'm supposed to do, it's like the clouds were a little bit shifted.
Yeah,
The light's a little brighter. You're like, because in your purpose, you find joy.
Yep.
And if you have a pulse, you have a purpose. You know what I mean? And it's just been amazing to, if you take hold of that, it's like, I'm not doing this for me. If I was, I'd be playing a video game or making a sandwich. That sounds amazing to me. But one day I might retire from teaching music, but I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna keep on sharing it, and to get to the point where that's why I have my website, onelampstudios.com, and that's why I have my YouTube channel, One Lamp Studios YouTube channel. because I want to be able to teach more people and help more people. So I'm going to put 100% of what I know on those channels for free. And then I'm also going to package them on the website at a cost for people who like it like that. I'll have virtual lessons available. You can sign up for a lesson right on there with me. And I just can't wait to get a chance to continue to share it with so many. The harvest is really ripe, and it's just to get a chance to go down and help so many people. Whoever's down there, I don't mind. I'm just glad to help a person, to be free, to experience that freedom of, and it's fun. Music, you play a song and and it's just it's empowering, and yeah. So,
Well, thank you so much for sharing everything about your why, about this house, about everything. So I think viewers have a good understanding as to what's to come, and now we just got to get more footage and have you capture more of the journey as you head down,
sure.
so that we can showcase to the world. What is the name of this place that
It's Greenville, Tennessee,
and the name of the organization or the building, or what you're going to call it?
The name has been up for
you're still working on it.
Okay. The vision was called the School of Wonder, and it's kind of like, there might actually be a still School of Wonder incorporated that might be like a worship leading and writing, worship music kind of. It's kind of a mentorship and class that will be ongoing for a few months. And we're actually talking about doing, having places for people to stay, like do an Airbnb with some really cool places that people, and also when they come to record, they could stay at the Airbnb, and, I'll put food out there for them. Like, you just come out, like, don't worry, Greenville's great. You can come out, like, and we'll help you live and sustain. Like, honestly, it's kind of scary. It was very scary at first. We didn't even know where we were going to be living. We had the pod in the driveway. I'm putting my things in a box, taking that box to the pod, another box. Then I'm like, well, where's this box going to go? I don't know the address to tell the lady on the phone. So I was praying, like, God, you've lined every single thing up, and it's been yes, 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 yes. And now I'm like, I need your help. And then we went to church the one day, and it was a small church in a house, and it's like they're just talking to each other, and it was a very small thing, older people, and like suddenly I feel like God's presence is like a warm blanket. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I feel this small still voice say, you don't need any of that. You don't need any of that stuff. I'm thinking, like, what am I going to stick in that little pod? He said, all you need is me. And so I'm just so encouraged. And, and then the day after that, we found a place. It was the next day on Monday morning. And I it was the only person who called me back. I called places. No one called me back. No one emailed me. This one person called me back, and they were willing to work with us, with our income, with our pets. And it was just like, it's just what a blessing. And then the people who are moving into our house, it's like they needed the house at the same time we're leaving. So many things lining up. And so I just have to say, like, this isn't really me doing all these things. I just get a chance to do.
Yep. Well, awesome. So, all right. If you're watching this, this is probably somewhere within this video called Bruce. It's coming out of the In Your Hand Media channel. So let's see where the story goes after this interview. Thanks again, buddy. Love you.
Love you too. All right, so it's my last time teaching at the music store here in New Brighton. I've been teaching there on and off since like 2012, I think, or something wild like that. But I'm on my way there, so it's kind of an emotional day. I'm excited, and also it's kind of an end of an era. So here we go. Bringing you along with me.
Bye, Andrew. Love you, bro. See you later. Oh, wow. Can't believe I left. I've been there for almost 15 years. Here I go. All right, so here I am heading out from the music store. It's been an emotional farewell for my students and with the music store, and so now I'm heading back home. And actually, I've got one more lesson to do in Ohio before I go back home and just continue to pack up and get ready to go on this big journey. And I'm taking you right along with me on this whole ride. So we're hoping you're enjoying this. Definitely feeling waves of positivity and excitement about the future because I've got a plan in my heart and a purpose, and that purpose is really motivating me. So, and that purpose is sharing music with people, shining the light, and just kind of bringing positivity to this world. It's such an exciting thing to get to do. So check out this next scene. The house that I learned how to play guitar in right here. I was 3 years old and I just wanted to play guitar real bad. So I'd lock myself in the room where my dad kept his guitar and I'd go in there and play it till they found the key. And then eventually he got me my own guitar. But that door might not have been this exact door, but that's when I was 18. I went up to the door and they had changed the locks and I was like, I guess I just don't live here anymore. So then I backed out of the driveway right here and I went down the road. I went up here on the right and I stayed at a friend's house. My friend Bill, who was my drummer, I went and stayed there. And while I was trying to go to college for music, I got saved in this church right over here. Gave my life to the Lord right there. Coming up here. So my friend Bill, this was his house, and we actually were fans of the band Cheap Trick, and they had a Live from the Budokan album. But we used to play music in our band here. We called it Live from the Buildacon, and we would jam out and just like rock out at all hours of the night. And I'm gonna try to pull in up here. I haven't been here in 20 years, probably like 24 years. I haven't pulled in here, but I wanted to show you guys where. Looks like they got some colorful signs there. Oh, here it is. Right there it is, right in that attic. That's where I lived. Yeah, I'd be here recording all the time with my tape. I had like a 4-track tape cassette, and I'd be recording music whenever the band wasn't here. But I lived in this right there in that little attic, and it was notoriously haunted by my friend's uncle. And boy, oh boy, what good memories I had here. I remember one time I got so scared I ran in his shoes down the street, and he wears like two or three sizes smaller shoes than me. I didn't realize till I left. But yeah, this is where I lived when I was like 18. When I moved out of the house from when I went home. We just got done on our last Sunday here at Westridge, and they're having this giant party for us to send us off. It's just been amazing. A lot of people praying and sending us well wishes. So this is just part of the journey, but yeah, this is our last Sunday at Westridge. It's been pretty amazing. So I'm outside of the Beaver Thai here, Beaver Thai cuisine in Beaver, Pennsylvania, and I've got this speaker here. It's the PV KB2 along with this cable and microphone. There's a lady here who wants to do karaoke real bad, and her daughter owns a restaurant in her, so we're going to surprise her today and give her that thing.
Hi.
I got your speaker. Here it is for you. There's your speaker. I made a video. Is that okay?
Yes.
And thank you. God bless.
I know I have food. I have dinner for you and your
Really?
wife. Yeah, wait.
Okay, take your time. It's heavy. Let me carry it.
มากเลย
What's that? Oh, you ready?
Your mom asking how I can do.
Well, this is you just right here is your microphone.
Oh, I
can
can
check
do
one,
with
too.
this one.
Yeah.
When we open this one with the phone, right?
Yeah, you can have the music to here.
How we do? ไหนวะ
You can put your music here.
Now I put here better.
Okay, wherever you want music, here or there,
Here.
and then your singing will come out of here.
Really?
Okay, yeah.
Ah, yes. This one cannot use, no, honey?
Yeah, you can use this for your music still.
Oh, this one, I
You
mean,
could do Bluetooth to this.
yeah, this one we can have microphone for
Yeah,
themselves.
but you won't need it because it'll sound nice through this speaker.
that
So you have two speakers. This for music.
Maybe don't need here.
Well, maybe not.
Oh, you wanna
But this could
try?
do for let's put your music through there. You want to try it? Are you allowed to do this?
Not yet.
Okay, well later on, you put your music through here, and then you just start getting that music through there. Then you sing through here, and then you'll be going good. Okay?
What song you like this year?
Well, you don't have to sing for me today, but
No, I think tell your wife.
okay. I just wanted you to have
Thai song or English song?
whatever you like. I think a Thai song would be beautiful.
Okay.
Listen, you don't have to sing for me, but I just wanted to give you this
Send to your wife.
as a gift because you love music like I do.
Yeah. My family, honey.
Amen.
Okay, Thai song.
Thank you for singing for me.
No.
Here it is.
I will. If we hold on together, I know our dreams will never die. Dreams see us through to forever. With crowds roll by for you and I.
Your mom loves to sing, and she sang to me.
เพลงก่อนลา
And I didn't know if she'd be allowed. I said I said maybe that came with a microphone and you might have taken it out. I said I didn't know.
No, it's okay.
Just like-
Whatever make her happy, I'm okay, with
Okay.
it. Also, the customer like it when they
Oh,
know
yeah.
birthday.
Yeah.
That's
You can make
why.
announcements.
Yeah.
You can and that's is a nice little speaker, and you can plug in other stuff with it.
ฉันจะฝากความรักไว้ที่เธอ เมื่อเธอเดินทางให้เธอติดตัวไว้ว่ามีคนคิดถึงเธอ แม้ห่างกันเท่าไร ไม่ว่ายังไงเรายังจะกลับมาพบกัน The meaning is you leave this town, right?
Right.
Go back to Tennessee.
Right.
That's the meaning. Bye bye.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. my family all moved out of our house. We moved into this hotel. We're gonna check that out soon, but right now we're at Pizza Milano. Let's check this out. All right, so today is February 11th, 2025, and it's hard to believe it's already here. Tomorrow is the last day of us owning our home, and we're moving to Tennessee, and so we're actually I'm going to pick up some new glasses. So here we go for my new look. You guys can like and comment as to if you think if this was a good move for me on these glasses, and you can like and comment about the move from here to Beaver, Pennsylvania, down to Limestone and Greenville, Tennessee. Just dropped some stuff off at my dad's house, and it was kind of a tearful goodbye. I mean, I guess he's not doing too good with his health, and so I'm leaving some things there to, you know, the store, and then I'm going to come back with a U-Haul and pick him up. Thinking about buying a truck. Maybe we'll take you on that journey too, but yeah, so it's tough. It's I'm saying goodbye to friends and family, some for the last time. So life is just precious, you know, and there's purpose. If you're here, if you're watching this, there's a reason. You have a purpose for your life. So yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna keep the video rolling. So today's the big day. It's the big move down to Tennessee. We got Ivy and then Mr. Puff over here in the corner. He likes to chill in his area. But yeah, as you can see, it's been snowing out here. And so we're gonna drive. Snow's gonna turn to rain here in a little bit. But as you can see, there's my ride right there. And so we're gonna haul it down. And so cheer us on as we go here. We bring you along on a journey down to Tennessee to start a music and art school and just move the whole family down there to shine the light. So here we go. I pulled over here in West Virginia just to rest at this rest stop here. I'm going to be going on 19 South and down, but it's a lot of fun here in the U-Haul van. I'm just straight chilling, and we're going to see what happens next. See, on this ride, we were on an adventure, and you were on this adventure with me. I'm just glad I'm not on my own because I have you with me. on this journey, please comment below and let me know what you think so far and any advice as we have moving forward. Try not to be mean. Woo! So I'm just driving here, and it's real. I'm realizing it that we're moving to Tennessee. It was like it's like we're really doing this. It's unreal. Like sometimes you leave your house and it feels like you're going on vacation. Well, this time I left where I was living. It feels like I'm going on vacation, but no, I'm going to live there. It's just really, really trippy. Kind of like get your mind going. I mean, the weather's turned from snow to rain. It's like 45 degrees here, and there's going to be a high of almost 60 degrees in Limestone, where I'm moving to. And things are going well. Got about 250 miles left to drive, and we'll show you what it's like when we get there. Up here, there's still got some snow, and then just a little bit of snow. The snow's melting. It's running down this mountain, and I saw there's a flood warning in effect. 100% chance of precipitation, and I'm driving through. Man, the water is starting to get a little higher on the side of the road, so it's getting a little sketchy, but we're gonna keep on moving. Actually see the water's rising. It's actually flooding right now as we speak. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm capturing this part of the trip. were affected by this flood on February 15th, post a comment and tell me what it was like. Maybe post some pictures of what your yard looked like. I can't believe I'm moving to Tennessee. It's exciting. It blows my mind. It just blows my mind, the whole thing. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. You know, I'm just thinking about it. How we sold our house and how everything's going well. I'm just so grateful. So grateful for this opportunity to share music with so many people and to shine the light in a town that's really great. The people are great there. It's just a little detached from some of the bigger cities, so people love music there. There's just not a lot of opportunities for them to start playing music. And so, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm living someone else's life or something. I'm so grateful. Oh, thank you, Lord. I never thought I'd get to live my dreams. I've always wanted to teach at a school. I was inspired by some of my teachers growing up. Mr. Beresford was a history teacher, and he taught me things about life and how to get through jobs you didn't like. And you know, he didn't just teach you the history; he taught you about your future. And so, man. Here, this one goes out to Mr. Beresford, who was an amazing teacher and just told us the truth as kids. You know what I mean? Man, I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. So here we go. Let's see how things keep going. This is my second day here in Tennessee. We're in Limestone, Tennessee, and here's the back of our house. And it's cold out here today, but I did manage to meet our neighbors. Just catching an amazing view of the mountains here. I'm returning the U-Haul, but it's like, oh my God. Can you see? Oh, wow. I am just amazed at the new place that life has taken to me. This is just, I'm on my way to return this thing out in the middle of nowhere. And but what beautiful views. We're returning the U-Haul here in Chuckey, and the guy was telling me there is no bridge. There's only one bridge to get out of here. That flooding that happened in Asheville also affected Chuckey, Tennessee, and there's one bridge to get out of here, and it's half a bridge. I drove over it. I'm going to show you guys. This is intense. Stick with me. Here's what the view looks like right now. All right, here we go. I don't know if this is the bridge. I think this is it. Oh yeah, look at it. Half the bridge has fallen off. This is the only bridge to get into this town. And you are over water. Rushing water. And the bridge is like, oh my gosh, log cabin. It's historic, but man, I don't know if it's safe. Woo! I'm alive. I'm alive, man. Oh, I can live life now. I got my car back, and I'm out of Chuckey, Tennessee, which is, like I said, they said that you can count on your fingers how many cars go by in 2 months. But since this thing happened, the traffic's just all kinds of traffic, and yeah, affected by the flooding of that tropical storm that happened. It's like a hurricane. But yeah, here we are in Chuckey, Tennessee. Now look at this. I've never seen that shape before on a sign. Let's see what happens. I can't believe I drove down through here with that trailer. Look how narrow the other side of the road is. There ain't a lot of room. So I guess that's a wrap on Bruce 1. You can see here I've had a little bit of firewood dropped off from my friend Art. You're going to check out more from him. We're actually going to visit him today. But yeah, I can't believe we're here in the mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains. And whenever I was videoing, I didn't even know where I was going to live or what kind of place it would be. Turns out we have a mule and a horse next to us, and it turns out the horse is diabetic, so it's a good thing we didn't go ahead and feed it a bunch of interesting foods. But yeah, so look for Bruce 2, the update of all the things that happened after we arrived down here in Limestone, Tennessee, in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We're down here to shine the light, and the people here have been amazing. And gosh, the sun is so bright, and I'm not used to this kind of weather. But yeah, so from the mountains, we just send all of our love from the Harrington family to you, from myself to each one of you. Believe in your dreams. If you have a dream, it's there for a reason and it's real. If you want to make the world a better place, we can do this thing. So just don't stop believing in yourself and betting on yourself. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing where this dream takes us. So I just edited the 180 days video that you might have already checked out. Please like and subscribe all In Your Hand Media pages and One Lamp Studio pages. Check me out, onelampstudios.com. We're going to be developing that site. And special thanks to In Your Hand Media for letting me tell my story. So we'll talk to you guys soon.